Petru, one more sheets about myself. I will talk about EFC georeferencing, how it's put into the IFC file, and I will talk about Blosm, about the functionalities, uh, show something about the project S1 in Eindhoven that is available in the GitHub from Building Smart, and something for the Belgium BIM community. And the main thing is, what are the challenges? So here you have the overview of how a 3D environmental model is built up. It has aerial photography, 3D buildings, 3D topography, if your land has that, if your country supplies that. Terrain models, DTMs. It's like the pizza bottom for the flat land. And there's this thing called reality meshing. It has commercial players like Google Earth 3D, but also for the Netherlands, we have NL 3D. Cyclomedia is involved in it. And you have additional meta. And all of that is becoming a 3D model. Blender, you see some screenshots. You have OSM. This is from Blosm. I'll demo that later. This 2D, and you have like the 3D. This is the topography from OSM. And well, I think there's quite some developments in this area. Yeah, Esri is and Autodesk are also teaming up. Like you see like all kinds of mushrooms, crossovers between technologies, LiDAR becoming meshes, and all kinds of stuff happening. So it's really an interesting area, field for investigating and see what you can do with it. So here you have like an aerial map. It has a 3D of Belgium again. Like here you see terrain and you see OSM netpick. So these are the resources you can use. I'll explain later. A photo, and here you see a picture of one of my favorite pubs in Ghent in Belgium. It's de Bierkade aan de waterkant. In Ghent, here's a nice pub. So I thought this was a nice place to.
Yeah.
But this is the same data as you can see in 3D Google Earth. You know that, right, Petru? If you have certain places in the world, like the rural areas, you can navigate 3D. And I think we're headed that way. More and more, we rely on 3D data to visualize where we are. You can see that in some expensive cars like the Tesla. Yeah, the 3D, you can see 3D cars and 3D houses.
Yeah.
It's popping up everywhere.
Can I ask you something? It's early to hijack you, but I have to ask you because we say geolocation, georeferencing. I don't think if you already dive deeper into the topic, I don't think you have maybe more basic slides. So I'm asking you right now, for who doesn't know, like what is geolocation, what is georeferencing, and why are they important? Like for us, for the people in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
BIM bubble, because many of us are not aware of the importance of this.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'll show you in the next slide, because you are asking me the question on a good timing. This is one sheet of paid data. It's called N3D. So this is more high quality, and you have to pay for it, but it has more details. So it's also reality meshing. But the thing you mentioned, Pedro, and yesterday I sketched it out, is the challenge we have. So I have my geospatial scene. I have this point A and I have this point B, and I have my map. It's located somewhere. So I can pick point A, point B, and get it somewhere from the registry. So this gives me a center point for my geo scene. It has xi or lat long, and this center point for my geoscreen needs to be aligned with the center point of my BIM. So here you have IFC Bonsai, if you can see, and it has a grid north. So this is my IFC file aligned to some certain point. And what I always do, but it's personal, I want to have these points at the same place, So going the other way around, this is my fact point. I know it, and I calculate A and B. I calculate A and B so that all my mapping is targeted on this spot. So that's the relation between center point geospatial from Blosm coming together with your BIM 0 point IFC bonsai. That's it's challenge trying to fit in one pencil painted as you can see, I put here rotation. So you have grid north. So your BIM model should be aligned to grid north, because all my modeling is done with grid north. So my BIM needs to fit the geolocation and not the other way around. So BIM fits the geo spot, not geodata fits the BIM north. That's not going to work, because the rotation we should get rid of the rotation discussion. Translation is not an issue. You can translate everything XI, it's just simple calculations. But when it comes to rotations, people get a bit shaky, and it leads to errors. So my advice would be to if you want to build, make sure you do the rotation of your BIM model or export the IFC grid node based. So the next thing I want to show, do you have some questions, Petru, or anybody else? Okay, then I wanted to show you, I prepared, oh, this is, oh. So the project I use is from Building Smart. It's project S1. It's a Dutch model. It has all kinds of very interesting data. And here you see the building S1. So I'm using that. And one way to georeference IFC is by using this site. Is from the Netherlands. It should be working all over Europe. Oh, nice picture. So I'll do a short demonstration. I prepared it. It should work quickly. So I'm doing it with a mass IFC model, not a very detailed one, but for the, so I should IFC. And I prepared, so this one is not georeferenced. This is georeferenced. So I'm gonna do the workflow. As you can see, it's very small. It's a very small IFC, just a mass, just for the placements. This is my EPS code, convert, and now it asks me, based on what do you want to align your models? You can do 2 or 1. In this case, I'll just do 1, make it simple.
What is
And
that? What does 1 or 2 mean?
well, what I'm now telling this software is for my 0 point, my origin from the model is for the Dutch national grid. It's
Yeah.
this value,
Uh-huh.
and it has this height. And the main aspect we want to have these values in the IFC file, not floating around in some kind of PDF or BEP. It should be in the IFC file. It should be maintained and not spreading around with WhatsApp or email, nothing like that, in the data. So what I don't have right now, this is just the translation. I don't have the rotation. So when I do show on map, you'll see that it's on the spot. Yeah, I did some investigations, this is just the method. But as you can see, it is good on the spot, but it has no rotation. So if you do 2 points, you can do rotation. So that's how IFC gref works. And I will show you how this is then implemented in the IFC file. So I have this what's it called? Notepad++. You see two different files here. This one is geolocated and this one is not.
Mhm.
So the only thing that comes with it, so everything is the same in this georef. Expect this little line. This is being programmed, and this is the X and the Y.
Uh-huh.
This is the height we saw, and this one is for the rotations. These two. And this one is for the millimeters to meters, millimeters to meters times
Mhm.
one. But these two, this is not like a rotation as you used to do with degrees, but it's like P, the horizontal uh, of P and the vertical of P. Yeah, you can
Mhm.
look it up in IFC schema and
Okay.
so
Uh,
now that we know that, how does this work in Blender?
1 second, Hans, before you go, before you move on. Guys, if you have any questions so far, start leaving a comment with the questions because we are going to go through them at the end, okay? So just leave a question if you have any questions so far because you will forget by the end, okay? And then Hans, one quick thing. Why do we say geolocation and georeferencing? Is there any difference between this or is the same thing?
So the difference between georeferencing and
Geolocation.
uh, now georeferencing, in my opinion, also has the rotations involved, and geolocation would mean only this value. But that's my opinion. But it's in the words and in the meaning. But yeah, the rotation is of course very important. It plays an important role. So here you can see the georeferenced file, the same one. And as you can see, it is millimeter based. Like from this point, these should be gone. It should be millimeter based. Here is 1 0 is missing, and here is yeah, but that's a software thing, I think. It should be based on millimeters, meter. And the nice thing about Bonsai is here you have as you scroll down, you
One
can
of the nice things.
yeah, sorry. There are so many nice things, so many things to explore. But this is really cool stuff. It came in, Petru, you know that, 4.3. And somebody made this really nice marker. It gives you a clear indication of where it is. And you can even scale it. In the beginning, it was only very small, but
Yeah.
now you have a scale factor, you can play whatever you want.
Dion,
So
this is thanks to Dion. I'm 99.99% sure that Dion has done this.
Dion,
Everything
yeah,
about
it's
georeferencing and
yeah,
geolocation, like
thumbs up
Dion.
for Dion.
Dion Molt, yeah. Thank you, Dion.
So okay, now we have done that. If we now want to make a geo environmental model and have the building at the right spot, we need to rotate it. So Petro is getting a little bit bored. It's getting a little bit late.
No, I'm tired because I woke up very early. No, don't say that. I do this all day. I wake up at 4, man, and I woke up
Okay,
even
okay,
earlier today. That's why. So
okay, okay. Yeah, never
don't
mind.
take it personal
Oh,
because this
sorry, sorry.
has nothing to do with this. I'm
Okay,
really really. It's an advanced topic, but
yeah.
far from boring. Far from boring.
So let me now start with some Blossom. So I'm making a new file. Don't save anything.
But did you say what Blossom is? What is
Oh,
Blossom? What
short
is
introduction to Blossom. Um, it's semi-open base. Somebody programmed it. I think the code is available. Don't really know that, but it's very low tech. Um, yeah, how do you say low tech? It's low tech. It's affordable. Um, you can you can install this using the yeah, using the it's not in the core of you have to load it in through this manually, install from disk. Just look it up at the internet and then you will find it. So there's some things you need to know. You see some keys here. You need to get it. I'm not, and that's personal. And one aspect you need to know is that it will ask you for a credit card. And I'm not a fan of credit card, but you have to believe me. For this tool, I ordered a credit card. I was so excited about this. So only for this. But the thing is, you don't get paid for anything. They just want to know who you are, and but it's a little bit hazy. Well, what are you gonna do in the future with it? But it's 3D Google Earth and it's Esri. So you're not really sure about what's gonna happen in the future. So I want to maybe we can talk about this later. But if you have a credit card and you trust Google, you trust Apple, you can go to their sites and let them know that you use this tool, you get a token and you're off to go. So when how do we start this then? So I'm beginning with some very now the place where the project is located. It's in Eindhoven, and if I am not sure, here is the project, right? So I'm doing this now. This is the point A and the point B I'm talking about, right? So the disadvantage I now have using it this way is that I really can't control this. I really what I would like to do is point out the center point, but that's the next step for like Blosm to have these calculated based on the center point. Then you can do direct business. The thing is, I have to calculate these values now using the yeah the lat long calculations. But if you have this one, just to make a quick impression for what it can do, I copy this, so it's in my clipboard, and I paste this. Paste. So these are the lat long values, and I'll first tell them to do terrain. Terrain is OSM places. It's a worldwide grid. And it has a 30-meter grid, I believe. So it's not really accurate. But you need to do this to get next step. The next step would be to do an aerial image draped on it. So I'm going back to my, oh, sorry. I'm going back to Blosm. I'm telling it to image overlay. I have some choices I can make. Let's say ArcGIS. Drape it on the terrain. If you're getting familiar with Blender, you can do this on your national grid, more accurate grid. You can do the same. It gets really nice features. And then you say import, and then it catches from ArcGIS base map. It catches all the smaller tiles. It stitches them together, and like this is now like 300 by 300 meters or something. And it's supposed to be ready. So, but the challenge now I have is I don't really know what this point is. I'm not so that's the main principle behind Blosm. I prepared some other. Let me show what S1 looks like when it has Google Earth and it has a DTM based on the national grid for like, then you get a really nice model. I think it's this one. So then it becomes more, so you have Google Earth. I can turn Google Earth out. Here you see the building. And I think I had, This is not really good. EFC site, terrain. Well, I hope you get a little bit of the picture. I open one more. I think this one rotated with DTM. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you. This is like the good spot with the building, and it has the terrain data based on the national grid, just not the worldwide service, but really, and I think I have it. Well, what I can do now is do this, try this from active. Dit would be the right lot long, and then I do image overlay setting. This one import, it should work. Oh, I did this the wrong way. This is wrong. So one more time. I'm doing this on this is the calculated one. And let's do this one. Import. And it should work. Yeah. So here you see this is the right height. It's done with AHN for everybody who's in the Netherlands familiar with that. But yeah, each country has its own DSM features. So the whole idea is to get it all aligned. And well, my trick to align them, I'll show you, is to use a spreadsheet. So I know my BIM 0 point. I calculate the A and the B value for my geoscene. So that this becomes the center of both. And then you have to go to your national calculator, and there are different calculators. So for the Netherlands, we have this calculation. So it calculates like whatever, and it calculates them to lot long, and I can transfer it in. So little trick of me. So I put this one, I calculate it, I do this, I say copy, go to there. Huh? I say paste, oh, Control V, I paste it, I copy to Clampboard, I paste it here again. Yeah, same values, I prepared it, and then I can go.
Not really the same. There is a
Uh,
difference.
do you understand, Petru?
Yeah, but I
So
see
I
a
copy this
difference.
last line,
Yeah.
and then I'll go to Blossom.
We have some questions that I guess we have to take now because later will not make any sense, Hans.
Okay,
Um, so
shoot.
what are those coordinates exactly? Surveyors use their national coordinate system. Is there a conversion needed, or can we work directly in coordinate system we want?
No, you have to do a calculation between your surveying national grid, like the flat grid, the cartidal, the flat grid. You have to do a flat grid coordinate calculation to a lot long, to a it's a round.
Yeah.
So the values Blossom works with, and also Blender GIS also works with that. So when I do new, I do Blossom and do paste. These calculations are lot long.
Mhm.
So you have to look for a site for your country that does this calculation. So I found one in the Netherlands. It's a national institute. In the Belgium, we have also one. It's a little bit more difficult because you have to do the calculations twice. Weird story. In the Germany, there's also this calculator, and you have to figure out and puzzle how this works. But the basic thought is, I have a national grid, and I want lot long for my blender.
This stuff is complex, guys. It's not easy, but
No,
yeah,
no, no,
that's
no.
why we have surveyors
It's only a one-time trip. In the beginning, it's difficult, but if you master it, you can
yeah.
do every place on your whole country.
Okay, look, another question because we have to take again right now. These coordinates you put into georeferencing tool, like this was for the previous tool that graph or whatever, what was that the name was, uh, should come from a surveyor, no? Because if you get them from an online map tool, you will never get it exactly, right? Just an estimate.
Um, well, I think you were talking about
Yeah, the tool that you use first time when you put your model into, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. Like the center point,
No.
your BIM base point. This BIM base point is indeed specified by a surveyor. He has the most knowledge. If you are a civil engineer, you can do it as well. I'm in the business of engineering, and we always use these kinds of values. For us, it's not really that hard to do. But if you're working in in a building environment and you don't do a lot of geospatial data, then you have to go to your surveyor and ask your surveyor, I want to georeference my BIM base point, my 0 point of my BIM file. It needs to
Mm-hmm.
be located. Can you help me with that or
Yeah.
whatever?
Uh,
How?
but Hans, these things that you call lat long, aren't these eastings and northings?
It's the same.
Is the same, right? Okay. Okay, good. Something else. Somebody asked when you edited that model in Notepad++, can you directly edit the code behind IFC in Notepad++ and how? But I don't think if you are just changing there the coordinates in geolocation will work, right?
Yeah.
Is that enough?
Now, yeah, well, what you can do is I'll open my import Blender and I'll put on my, this thing. Where is
Well,
it?
we have to get an error. Otherwise, it's not live demo.
Project, sorry. Oh, yay.
Outdated
I'll
model.
open. I'll get to the question. Moment.
Sure.
This thing is a. Wait. Import and rotate. Import and rotate. Okay. So what you can do is this model is rotated as an IFC file. So the IFC gets rotated out. You can tweak your XI values like here. So if you have information about this is wrong, you can type the right values like 60.0, and then you can save that as an IFC. So the IFC is editable using Bonsai.
Yeah,
Bonsai.
but it's the same if you are editing in text editor. Like what if you edit
Yeah, it's
manually?
absolutely the same.
Yeah, because somebody said that I tried to edit the width of a wall in VS Code and then see it in BIM Viewer, but nothing happened. Yeah, well,
Uh, well, if you save it, you have to save this as IFC. It will export to IFC of export. It will save in the IFC file.
mhm,
So if
mhm.
I make this like 0.2, and here we can adjust the angle by 20. But these are just values, This is metadata. It does nothing with the model.
Mhm.
It's just this is metadata of the origin of your model. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, Ah, okay. So you will actually you will not see any difference in bonsai or in a viewer, only when you take it globally in a federated model, or
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So you're telling your model the properties of your point, and it because the grid north here, I can adjust that to 0, and then you have to do save, and now is my grid north gone. If I do save as and I do test, then you will see 7.2. I adjusted it, and I do new open. Oh, where's my test now? Hmm. IFC. Oh, where's my test? File.
maybe
Save
you saved
IFC.
it in another folder.
This one. I think
Oh, but
file, open.
not it will not show if you open like that. You have to open
Oh,
IFC.
yeah, sorry.
That's why. There you go. Isn't a bit risky to set the point by yourself from a picture because you need to consider the Earth's curvature? A
One
question.
moment. And see, yes, this is saved. So I can adjust the metadata. I can visually see
Yeah.
what's happening to my IFC properties.
Yeah.
That would be the question.
What do you think about this question? Isn't a bit risky to set the point by yourself from a picture because you need to consider the Earth's curvature?
Oh, sorry, I didn't get that, Peter.
So, isn't a bit risky to set the point by yourself from a picture because you need to consider the Earth's curvature?
That's why you need a land surveyor.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So
Uh,
to get these values, these are important values. You have to have knowledge of geospatial data and about calculations and what kind of. So my advice would be to, if you have contacts with a civil engineer or a surveyor, let them check your. It's better to check 2 times, 3 times than to play around and
uh-huh.
hope it will work.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How can I get the coordinates for the spreadsheet calculator?
Yeah. Well, it's one part of it is it's very simple. I'll show you. If this damn button doesn't. So the for Belgium, I had no. Let me do in the Netherlands. So this is what you know, right? This is what you calculate. It's like I can do here 500, make a bigger model. So these values will be. It's just spreadsheet modeling. This is a XI for both. It's just how the Dutch side works. It needs to be this to get to. Uh, yeah. This is a really difficult calculations. You can't do it by yourself. There are some spreadsheets and like the simplest one is APSG.io. It's a worldwide
Yeah.
website, and that can do these kind of translations also. APSG, but uh, it is a really different calculation. So I prefer to do this on a national based um, institute I can trust. So my advice to you would be you can use this, okay, but I really don't guarantee that this is 100% correct. If you want to have it 100% correct, ask your surveyor, ask your land surveying institute for your for the grid for your land to do these kind of calculations.
Mhm.
But because it needs to be correct, like to the millimeter or centimeter, and not just any meter. So that would be my advice.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have a few more questions. I'm sorry. Well, like we really have to go through this because it's going to be very difficult to bury back again from this. So yeah, what is
So
IFC grid and how it relates to True North?
sorry, Petru, I lost you there. What is?
Um, so what is IFC grid and how it relates to True North?
Yeah. In IFC and in a bonsai, you have two types of north.
I guess it was showing in Bonsai, yeah. Like if you if you go back in
Yeah,
Bonsai and show that.
I'll show it in you in bonsai. File, open, import. So,
No, this is you open a blend file, you will not see it. You have to open IFC, right?
no,
Find open IFC project.
no, this is can be done. I thought. Hmm. Now,
No, not
file.
not from a blend file. It will not show.
I'll open it. You're right.
Mhm.
Georeferenced open. Okay. Then we go to the set this one. So we have three types of north. The project north is how you model it. Project north is how you model it. True north is where the sum comes up. I had some discussion about with Dion.
Uh-huh.
I don't really like true north. I think it's very confusing
Misleading.
because
Okay.
I don't really care where the sun comes up. The only thing I matter is where the grid north is. The grid is your national grid. It's
Ah,
geospatial grid. So not to be confused with Project North. And the true north is like the magnetic north. But I see very little use of true north. It's not saved in the IFC. It just works confusing because in Revit, true north is grid north.
uh-huh.
So if I could kill it, I would kill it.
Did you get any reply from Dion on what he thinks about
Yeah,
it?
well, he says for sun studies, like the true north, the significance between grid north and true north for the Netherlands like is like a half a degrees. It's
Okay.
like this. But yeah, I'm serious. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing sun studies, but if I would do sun studies, I can work perfectly fine with grid north because yeah, it's the grid. Let software handle it. Don't bother users with the difference between this is not the type you want to use. You want to bother users with, but that's totally my opinion.
Yeah, I understand. Agron Derala writes something funny. I think this concludes the meeting. The land surveyor should define the coordinates and do all the conversions.
Yeah, yeah,
Akron doesn't want like to own this. Yeah, I'm sure it's complex stuff. Like when you do it, we deal with your things, you want to have an expert like Hans, like you, who you can ask, right? That's the whole
yeah.
idea.
Okay,
Okay.
so
I,
if I
I'm not done. Sorry, I'm not done.
oh,
I have I have a few more. Okay, and then but don't worry. Like we can stay until you finish. Okay, if you don't have any other meeting you have to run into, we can stay as long as you can. Okay, so don't worry
yeah,
for me. From my part, we can stay longer.
yeah,
Um,
okay,
so do the coordinates no so let's say does the website basically that website basically overwrite the IFC file? How do you know where your 000 point is in the IFC model? Do you normally put it on grid AI A1?
yeah. I think the question is about the IFC gref
Yes,
tool.
yes, yes, the tool that is modifying the
Yeah.
yeah, it's fixing the
So it's like a little bit intelligent based. It firstly reads out if there is any geospatial reference already in there. It will notify you if it's there. It will point it out to you so you can check it. So it's IFC check. My camera is behind my speech, I think, but okay. Um, if it's not there, you can choose 2 points or 1 point to get that into the IFC data. So it only adds 2 lines of codes. It doesn't change anything. It adds code. I hope that is the answer to the question.
Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't change it, it just add code. Um, do the coordinates in the IFC site placement have an effect?
Heaven,
If they have an effect,
IFC site is EFC 2x3, right? It's a different method for IFC georeferencing. So you have IFC 2x3. It has a other way of georeferencing than IFC 4. The new IFC 4 format is what I showed you, and the IFC 2x3 method is with IFC site, and
uh-huh.
it is based upon lat long with
Yeah, and that's not
degrees and
georeferencing, but that's not georeferencing
it's also
supported by
georeferencing.
IFC. Is like supported by IFC.
Yeah, it's supported by IFC. It's in the IFC schema, but it's older version versus a newer method. Uh, I think the IFC, the Building Smart Institute, came to the realization that IFC 2x3 is not really that smart for geo referencing, to be honest,
Mhm.
because with lat long and degrees, seconds, and that's not the way we work in the building industry. We have to calculate it. We have to use X and Y values, and we have to use rotation for our. So that's why it's in IFC 4, and
Yeah.
I think it works.
Mhm. Yeah. One last thing. Um, there is an OSM option in Blossom which is free. It won't have the DTM, but you can get a lot of elements,
Yeah,
buildings, rivers in the model. Yeah, and that's it. And like one more. Lat and long is degree minus is degree minutes, seconds, and easting and northing is measured in distance, millimeters or meters.
what's the question?
Lat and long is degree, minutes, seconds, and easting and northing is measured distance, millimeter or meter.
Yeah, it can be both. But in the geospatial aspect and in the permit GIS data, it's all meters.
Uh-huh.
And in the BIM domain, we do everything in meters. So there at one point you have a conversion between meters and millimeters. So
Mhm,
it's just a value 0.001. It's a scale factor.
mhm. Okay,
It,
that's
it's
great.
not it's not that you have to model in meters if you want to do geospatial. And it's a nice thing about Blender, because if you model it in millimeters, Blossom will detect that and it will be scaled upon your millimeter model. So what I showed you, the S1 project, it's just millimeters all, and the geospatial scene comes in as millimeter.
Mhm. Yeah, we got two more questions. The location of the site datum is the surveyor responsibility. All our coordinates can be X, Y, Z of that. Wise move, get everyone aligned.
Um,
Should I
can you
read it one
repeat
more
it?
time?
Sorry, can you repeat the
Yeah,
question?
yeah. So the location of the site datum is the surveyor responsibility. All our coordinates can be X, Y, Z of that. Wise move, get everyone aligned.
So, yeah, sorry. Yeah, maybe it's me, but I don't hear a question.
Oh, you don't hear it? Let me paste it. Can you see in the chat? Look in the chat here in Zoom. I just pasted
Oh,
it there.
sorry.
Check in Zoom. It's fine.
I find myself like a Donald Trump with the Indian guy. Oh, well, I don't understand him.
You don't understand the question.
No, but do you know that fragment? There
No,
was a journalist coming from India, and he was
no.
asking
I
Trump a
don't watch
question.
politics. No.
You don't watch politics? Or I find it no, it's not amusing. It's really shame. So chat, sorry, I didn't have my chat up, open, Petru, and
It's okay.
everybody else.
It's
So is
okay.
it the last question? The location of the survey data is the survey responsibility. Okay. All your coordinates can be X, Y, Z of that. Yeah. Wise move. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe I interpreted that your model should be hard coded in your national grid. I was doing that in my AutoCAD times. I'm doing that for AutoCAD. I always do my plans in the national grid, so it's fixed in a grid on X, Y, Z. But I don't think it's a smart move when you go to BIM. So your model, every model has its local origin, and every origin has its local placement on the earth. And if you want to bring them together, use a geospatial scene and get these things together. So that's a wise move.
Okay,
But all,
you can move on. We don't have any new questions, and we take later.
okay, okay. Now I hope that you learn something. I find it amusing.
I have to watch
I'm at
this
the end of my
more times.
presentation. So I want to finish with this nice picture for me. So Blosm um, will get you a geospatial scene with a center point. You have your model from IFC Bonsai, and yeah, make sure these fit together. Use the same XI punt, and then you get really nice environmental models.
Yeah. So you
Oh,
mean the
and one
rotation,
thing I
right?
wanted to show you,
For the
I've
rotation to fit, right? That's what you mean.
retrofitted. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is now a sample from the board uh, reality meshing. So this is really high tech in my experience. So when you buy like a piece of this one, oh, I wanted to share. I almost forgot the legal issue of geo. If you use Chat GPT and you search for what are the legal issues for using 3D Earth data using a GeoApple, then you will find that the 3D geodata from Google Earth, it may not be pursued for any commercial license. It has limits and certain restrictions. So my message to you is then you can use this free Blosm add-on, but it's really a gray area because Google says you may not use this for big commercial activities. But yeah, what's a big commercial activities and why is this API free? So it's a little bit of both ways. They don't tell you where the limits are. But at some point, when you're making a lot of money out of Google data, then people can knock on your doors. So my advice would be from, okay, yeah, you can also buy data. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to tell you guys.
There
Where's
is one
my
more thing. Do you have any tips about the rotation? Most rotations need up to 10 decimal numbers to precisely rotate a project, but most software
10 is
is
a
not
little
capable.
bit exaggerated. I think at least 5 or 6, but yeah.
Yeah.
But the main issue, I think, when you tell me I need 10, is that you model with somebody else's model for to put them together in a geospatial scene, in a geoscene. 6 decimals for rotation is more than enough. But the problem becomes when you pick somebody else's walls and you put it in a native BIM model, then you get far behind the Revit problem with the units that's becoming, and then yeah, That's all the problem.
Mhm.
That's a really a software problem.
Okay, guys, if you have any questions, now it's your last chance. You have few minutes, few more minutes.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yes,
I lost
so
you in your Zoom fenster, Petrus. Sorry for my mistake.
you
Uh,
where did you
yeah.
lose me? I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, here it is. Sorry.
No worries, no worries. I'm here. Um, yeah, so what we have to keep in mind here is that the rotation, the grid rotation, that's the most important thing that we have to align with the project rotation.
Yeah. Yeah. I would advise to have your thoughts about it and let it sink in. Let me share it on. Yeah, I will. Yeah. T- how do you say it? Advocate it to use Blender or Blender GIS has also nice features. But keep in mind that you need a center point for your geolocation, and that's the hardest trick. I hope I will get in contact with the guys who program Blossom, to ask them to have a center point and indicate that. And from
Yeah.
that point, then it would be much easier.
Mhm. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Um, it's a heavy topic. I will admit, like always when I have meetings about georeferencing, my mind is just explodes.
Oof.
It's a lot of things to digest, and especially for people who don't have experience with this.
Can you
So
imagine that I'm having fun with it?
of course because it becomes like that's how it works, right? If you focus on one thing, then you become very good, right? Very good at it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Somebody asks, which is Hans' email's address? Maybe
Email address, yeah, Petru has that.
you
I
can
will write
let me
in the
comment
chat.
here, Hans. You can find him on LinkedIn. Just find
Yeah.
him on
Oh, and
LinkedIn.
yeah, in March I'm going with Amir, the guy whose program took IFC GREF. I'm going to build AU in Europe, and we're
Okay,
doing a class about geospatial, yeah, GeoBIM. So that's interesting. I'm looking forward to that with Amir from the TU Delft. And
that sounds
I'll
good.
put my email in the chat.
Yeah, I commented your name here, so he can just send you like uh, Gerard. Just send him a message on LinkedIn. That's easier, and yeah, you can go from there. Yeah,
Okay,
amazing. We managed to wrap it up exactly at 6, Hans. So
60 minutes.
yeah,
Yeah, thumbs
yeah,
up.
amazing.
Hey, I want to thank you very much for having me. As I said, I am a little bit of a chaotic, and I think I made that expectations really nice come true.
Yeah, well, like every BIM professional has like chaotic workflows. Like we
Yeah.
use with so many different tools, so that's just normal, I guess. So don't worry, it's it was perfect.
Okay.
Thank you so much for taking the
Thank you.
time, and
Thank you for
yeah,
having me.
like everyone can watch this later on YouTube or after 2 weeks or in the BIMvoice Friends community on school. Thank you very much, everyone, and for hanging in with us. And see you next time, okay? Get ready for the next week. I forgot what we have next week, but definitely something cool. So get ready for that. Have a good afternoon, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Hans.